Welcome to the Amazing Authorities Podcast, where game changers, visionaries, and category leaders share how they built their brands, platforms, and global influence. Your host is Mitch Carson, international speaker, media strategist, and creator of the Instant Authority System. If you're ready to learn from those who've done it and want to become the go-to expert in your space, you're in the right place.
Recording this practice session with Dr. Susan Thomson and Barbara Wainwright, coach extraordinaire, where we're going to go through mock interviews. And today I'm going to be an observant and I'm going to wear the coach hat. The participants in this play-by-play today are the two ladies in front of us. So Barbara, your role, and then you're going to switch hats, is you are the host. Since you've done interviewing before and you've done some TV segments, as a matter of fact, we met through the training of Michael. Yeah, Michael really ran it, but Ann was the figurehead, but it was really Michael that had the TV background some years ago. You're going to interview Susan.
Okay.
Okay, so the floor is yours. Ask the questions. I'm going to run a clock. And I'm going to signal you. I'm going to put my hand up. That means 30 seconds is left. We're going 4 minutes.
Oh,
yeah, so it's a good practice session. This is practice, ladies.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to count. So when I get to 3.5 minutes, once we do the start, you're going to jump right in and just start with Susan Thomson. Welcome to the show. Something along those lines. Okay.
Perfect.
Dr.
Okay.
Susan Thomson, welcome to the show. And once you open your mouth, my clock starts. It's that precise. Okay.
Okay. Quick
So
question.
Yes, go ahead.
Do we go through all 5 questions in 3
No,
minutes?
you have 4 minutes. It's your job, your latitude, your choice as a host to pick which questions you want.
Got it.
It's
Okay.
unlikely to get through more than 3 questions in a 4-minute segment.
Got you. Okay.
Okay. So you pick whatever you want, and then you can anticipate the answers that are there because she provided them. If you choose to, or you can dig in. You might only have an opportunity to go through 1 question if it's about spanking your kids, which could be a half-hour segment to an hour alone. If you want,
Right.
what kind of paddle do you use? Is it a switch from the tree? Is it, all of those things go into great depth. But I think you understand it's 4 minutes.
Got it.
3.5 minutes. I'm going to give you the 3 sign. This is just practice. And then it's going to be your turn. And then Susan's going to be the host. And then we're going to then go, yes, until we get it down pat, it's second nature. That way you folks nail it come Monday.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
So when
So
you
let me just
start, go ahead, Susan.
I just want to say that if I answer the first 5 questions in less than 3.5 minutes, which is possible, then you can go on to the next set. Barbara.
Well, let's just do this one set now. If you have
All right, just the one set. Okay.
for right now, send me the first
Okay.
set again. After, but let's go through this. I don't want to confuse the issue. Let's focus right
All
here.
right.
Let's do this.
Okay.
And we're going to do this a couple times, ladies, to where, okay, you've put in the reps, your biceps are bulging before you go in on Monday.
Okay. All right.
All right. So, Barbara, it's up to you. I'm going to count you in. I'm strictly the director.
Okay.
My job is director today. You're the host for right now.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
we are about ready to go live. Barbara Wainwright, 3, 2, 1.
I am so excited and delighted to welcome Dr. Susan Thomson to the show today. Welcome, Susan.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
I love your new book, Parenting the Rules. And I noticed in there you talk about when a child throws tantrums regularly, what is the behavior really telling the parents? And why do you not advocate for a timeout?
When children throw tantrums, it's generally because the parent is ignoring their needs as they're going along. The children might be tired, hungry, upset about something, and the parent is just ignoring that child, and the child then needs to increase his behavior to get the parent's attention, and it can turn into a tantrum. So a child has needs, and that's why they throw tantrums. Needs that a parent is not meeting. However, timeout, people want to say, oh, well, the child threw a tantrum, he needs to go on timeout. Well, now you've left a child who is hungry, sick, tired, something, upset, and you're going to put them alone. Teaches nothing, creates more pain for the child, and maybe even creates more tantrums. And if you reinforce that tantrum behavior, that's all you're going to get. So you have to you have to anticipate children's needs. It's the duty of the parent to do so.
Yes, I so agree. In your book, you also emphasize apologizing to children. And why is that so powerful?
Well, I think the best way to explain that is that how would you feel, or how would anyone feel, if their parents came to them and said, we made some mistakes with you and we want to apologize. I think we didn't help you when you needed help. When you were a teenager and you were having a really tough time, we just ignored you. We grounded you. These were mistakes. And I want to apologize. I want to tell you that I maybe loved you conditionally, which was another mistake. And if you can tell me anything you want, I will listen. You can be angry, sad, afraid. I want to be here for you. I want to help heal the past.
I love hearing that. What is the emotional cost to a child when that love is conditional? Because it does happen when it's conditional with affection or privileges get taken away. What happens then?
Well, conditional love is extremely toxic. And it shouldn't even be called conditional love because it's not love. It's manipulation. Love is unconditional. However, a lot of parents use conditional manipulation in order to control their children. And what happens with the child is that they get abandoned and it creates shame. So if you aren't responding to your child in a way that they feel connected to you, they feel they're ashamed. They're alone. They feel like if I don't do exactly what you say, I won't be loved. Therefore, I have no value except in that I have to do what you say. There's my value. As a person, as an independent person, 5 years old, 15 years old, I essentially have no value to you except that I'm pleasing you, not myself.
Terrific. In a few words, what would you recommend parents do if they're struggling with a difficult child?
Which age? For any particular age?
5 or 6. 5 or 6.
Well, it depends on what that difficulty is. If all children are seeking attachment, attunement, having been feeling attuned to their parents.
Dun, 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 dun. We're at a commercial break. We're right into our advertiser right now is Deloitte & Touche is sponsoring this program for Las Vegas Now. We've just had Susan Thomson, PhD, as our guest. And Deloitte & Touche loves the fact that there was a book talking about parenting. We're parents too. I'm just using this as fun.
Got it.
It went fast, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It did. You got through the answer to number 3, and then it was like I saw the hand go up. I'm like, whoa, we got 30 seconds. What can we do quick? And I was like,
Okay. Well, that's why I gave you the 30-second warning. I'm the director talking in your ear on set. You've got to wrap it up. So that's when I wrote. You saw my 3 fingers, I hope.
I did.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that meant that we were at 3 minutes.
No, I'm just using that like 30 seconds left. So that's why.
Okay, so that was a mistake of mine.
No, it's not. No, this is all. We're being recorded. You'll be able to go through. You did not make a mistake. I purposely ran the podcast. Now we're getting concise, and here's some feedback. Barbara, you did a great job. Now, be mindful of, because I like how you responded to her feedback. Brilliant. That's a great host. Okay. If I would make one request out of you, Susan, Brevity.
Yes.
You are explanatory in a nice way. That's great in a facilitative setting, but in this particular case, this is television. 4
Okay.
minutes.
Shorten it.
Shorten it, and there's something else. You happen to be a beautiful lady with real teeth. Please smile. Thank
Okay.
you. I want to see the
I get pretty
non-stoic
serious
side
about
of
this
you.
stuff.
Yes, you're a fun, nice lady. The first time I met you, I said, "Oh my God, she's a bit stoic," but you're actually a pretty nice, a very nice, not pretty nice, a very nice, kind woman. Please
Yes.
show your smile. Barbara,
Okay.
yours comes out more easily. And Susan, I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm not the first person that's ever given you that feedback, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I like you. I really do. I want
No
to
problem.
see that smile. It comes from Orange County via Arizona, but now I want to see that smile.
Okay.
Okay.
It's hard to smile when you're talking about abandonment, or at least
Well,
in my head.
I just, when you're greeted to the show, I want to see your
Oh,
teeth.
okay.
Okay. Show the smile. Now, part 2 feedback. Where's your book?
Right here.
Not you, Barbara. You're not the one. Okay.
No, but
So I want you to have, now we're on a podcast. We're on Zoom, obviously, here. This is a mock interview. We're going to do this again. That was take 1. We're going to do take 2 in a second.
Okay.
Still recording, so you can review all this. When you talk about your book, Susan, hold it up. Remember, fingernails are not covering any portion of the cover. It's covering your heart. Barbara, this is feedback for you also.
Okay.
Your hands are back. Let me grab. Here's a book. Like I said, this is a client that was in town. I interviewed yesterday on a podcast. It's here over your heart, ladies. Over
Okay.
your heart here. So show the whole book. It's hard to do that on the screen because we're on Zoom, but in studio, I want you to show your book if it's not on the easel. Now, different studios, for example, the first studio that you're both going to be on over in Sinclair Broadcasting, that's where NBC and the CW. Barbara, you're doing a CW segment. They don't necessarily have an easel and a table. It's 2 high chairs. You might either be standing, or sitting on stools, not high chairs. That's for kids. And we will practice for that. For Susan, when you go to the ABC on Tuesday morning, you will be seated and you could be barefooted. You won't, but they won't see you below your knees. You're going to be sitting on a couch. 2 hosts are going to be sitting over there. Each set is different. But Channel 8, which is the live session on Monday afternoon, which I hope you're able to attend, Barbara, will be very good footage for you to take photos as well, accompanying your friend to go to that, because I already put your name on the list. I need your husband's name. The Channel 8 is you could be seated or you could be standing on high chairs or on stools. The set, I don't know where you're going to go in the order. You're prepared for all of it. That's why we're going through this. But if they put your book on an easel, all you have to do is point at it.
Okay.
Okay. And for you, Barbara, they won't have an easel. The set that they use at Sinclair is you're definitely either standing, depending on the host, and it's a height issue. I'm 6 feet tall, and the host that interviewed me the last time I was there in September, he was maybe 5'4", so they actually gave him a platform to stand on, so he was at eye level with me.
Oh my
So
gosh.
funny.
So you were still waist down then.
Well, he was smaller, which is fine.
Yeah.
He did a good job. But so be prepared for all these scenarios. So have your book ready to show on the air, or it might be on an easel. In Susan's case, when she does the 2 live segments, she could be seated or could be standing. But at ABC, which is Tuesday morning for you, Susan, which is the morning blend show, you will definitely be seated.
Okay.
Because you're taller than both the hosts.
Okay.
Yeah, they're smaller type people. Excellent. They're all professionals at what they do. So let's go back and do this again. I'm going to reset the clock, and I want you to. I got to turn my phone back on because somebody called me. So let me do this. We're going to reset, and we're going to go again.
Okay.
All right. And then
Same questions or same
yes,
thing? Same
yes.
identical thing?
I want you to
Okay.
get comfortable with this. We'll do the second round of questions later. But right now, let's
Okay.
nail this. So you're comfortable, you've got it. And think SB, sound bites. Sound bites. So I'm going to, let me do this again. Dismiss. Okay, let me reset. And when you are introduced, Susan, please smile. Thank you so much. You spent a lot of money at that dentist. Let's show it.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay, so Barbara, I'm going to count, and we're going to come back in once again. Really good job, ladies. Round 2, 3, 2.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am here with Dr. Susan Thomson, the author of Parenting the Rules, and I'm so delighted to meet you, Susan. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Barbara. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes. So in your book, you talked about children throwing tantrums and the best way to handle that. What is that behavior really telling the parents? And why don't you advocate for a timeout?
Children throw tantrums because they're in some kind of distress, right? They're hungry, they need their parents' attention, they're sick, they're fatigued. There could be a myriad of things. They throw tantrums because they're not getting their needs met at all. The parent is just ignoring all of these needs. Okay. And timeout is used because the parent doesn't know what else to do except for, oh, they're throwing a tantrum. I learned I need to put them in timeout. But timeout puts a sick, sad child in a place that's alone. You solve no problems, does not help the child. It helps the parent, not the child.
Right, especially if they don't know what to do, right? So
Right.
in your book, you also emphasize apologizing to children and that it's a very powerful thing to do. Can you explain that?
Well, I can only think, if you think to yourself, what if your parents came to you one day and said, we want to apologize for the mistakes we made with you. We feel like when you were a teenager, we really kind of ignored the struggles you were having. We want to make up to you. We want to ask for your forgiveness. And we're hoping that we can become more connected. I think we have some disconnect between us, and I think it comes from the past.
That makes a lot of sense. What is the emotional cost, would you say, to a child when love becomes conditional or affection or privileges are withdrawn for their behavior?
The term is used as conditional love. However, I believe it to be conditional manipulation. And what happens to a child is that child, when they're manipulated in that way, feel abandoned. And any child that experiences any form of abandonment ends up feeling shame. Shame means you feel flawed, you feel defective. Your own parents are not paying attention to you, not meeting your needs. And the emotional cost is lowered self-esteem and resentment and anger toward the parent.
Wow, that's a tough one for both the parents and the children. My goodness.
Yes.
So what does emotional safety feel like from a child's perspective?
Emotional safety means that the child in the home can tell both parents everything that they feel at any time. So the child may be sad, maybe they lost a friend, and they can come to the parents and the parent can empathize. Or they may be somebody hurt their feelings and they can come and say, Sally hurt my feelings and I'm sad. And then the parent can empathize. But one of the most important things that creates emotional safety in a home is when a child can come to a parent and say, I'm really angry with you because you didn't let me go to the dance. And I'm going to stay angry with you for at least a week. And so the parent goes, okay, tell me more about it. That's emotional
great.
safety.
All right. I have one last question for you. And that's, when a teen makes a potentially life-changing mistake, like drinking, lying, breaking trust, how should a parent respond without shaming?
The last thing a teenager needs is shame, grounding, feeling terrible about it. They're already in a predicament. A parent needs to sit down with that child. Why did you do this? What happened? How can I help you? How can I lean into this problem and let's solve it together? Grounding a child is very similar to timeout. They learn nothing. It does no good.
Your time is out. Okay. So let me stop my clock.
Yeah, we got
Barbara,
through all 5
Barbara,
questions.
you did. Now, one more thing, and this isn't about you becoming a host overnight. Just for well, this is also for Susan's training because you're going to be switching roles in a minute.
Yes.
After
Right.
one more time, there's a little more feedback. I don't lay it on thick right at the beginning. So we got the smile, excellent. You showed your grill, excellent. You used pearl drops, love it. Remember that old toothpaste?
Remember pearl drops? I used to love those.
Yeah,
They
I
don't make
did
them
too.
anymore.
Yeah. All right. So you showed the pearly whites, excellent. What I want to see, which will in hand gestures a little bit.
And gestures.
I
Okay.
want you to animate and
Okay.
use, okay, it'll help
Okay.
expression. It's hand gestures prove your, I want you to loosen up and go ahead and talk a little bit with your hands. You don't have to pretend you're Italian yet, somewhere between Anglo to Italian. So we're gonna use a little bit of the hands to connect.
Connect. Hands. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wasn't sure that would be like
absolute. No. You don't have to be Italian. You don't have to do this or none of this. But you can certainly don't pick your teeth. Just talk. Hey, punishing your child or move your head a little bit. All right. So
Okay.
these are just small tweaks that we're making, a little bit
No,
improvements as we
I
go through.
appreciate it.
Okay. So Barbara, we're going to go again. When I
Okay.
mention this, you got to wrap up. You're in charge. It's your show.
Oh,
Okay.
it's her turn.
It's her. Well, not yet. You're going through
No, but-
another round. She's got to know I'm the director in your ear. I've just told
Okay.
you we got 30 seconds. I'm doing the hand gesture versus you're going to be wearing your earplug. You know this.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and Susan, I want you to be cognizant of 4 minutes. Because at CBS in the afternoon on Monday, it flies.
Okay.
You might only be 3 minutes. It's the discretion of the host and the director, how many advertisers they have in on a specific day. You're an added guest. So they might squeeze you. I've seen as fast as 2.5 minutes. So
Wow.
I'm just talking, that's live TV. Recorded.
Yeah.
Ladies, the first in the morning session at 10:15, that's when they're going to pull you into the green room and take you in. Both of you will be taken into the studio at the same time. So you could take photos and videos and all this. I'll have all your names cleared up. 4 minutes is fine. You might even have slightly more time, like 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Not as strict. Live TV is a completely different game.
Yeah.
This will prepare you for it. But I want you to go through, animate a little bit, Susan. Go ahead and move around. Barbara, I think it's a more innate with you. You tend to animate and seem to have a little more drama in your demeanor. Yeah. And it's just who you are. And Susan, I want to bring that out in you a tad more. Okay. You smiled great. You answered concisely, competently. Be aware when I do this, Barbara, it's now your job to herd the cats.
Got you. Okay.
Okay. You got to herd her in and bring it in. Now that's been great. So these are great tools that we can learn about in your book. You have 20 rules or 20 principles in your book. So to learn more, they can find out about the book. This is a book PR spot.
So do I need to be saying that at the end of one of my
it's her job.
questions?
It's her job.
It's her job. Okay.
I'm coaching her simultaneously.
Oh, you're coaching Barbara.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that gets
Yeah.
hit. And you will have your book there to show. Now, Susan, keep this in mind. If for some reason I can always edit in for the recorded sessions. We can edit in artwork. We can edit in quotes. We can edit in B-roll. All of that's fixable. In live TV, which are 2 of your segments, there is no redo. It's live, one and done. So it is your responsibility to make sure your book is mentioned.
Oh,
yes. And there are opportunities for you to insert that. In my book, I cover, boom, boom, boom. In my book, I cover this in chapter 1 about smacking your kids or scolding my kids. So whatever it is, you get my point.
Yeah.
If they don't say that, remember, you're one of multiple guests they're doing on any given day.
Right.
They are fallible. They're human. Most of the time they're great. Sometimes they're not. You have to be in charge of your interview. That's why we're going through this, because you're going to say after, oh
Okay.
gosh, I should have said this. No. There are no shouldas.
Okay. Mhm.
Shoulds. If you should on somebody, you step in it.
Yeah.
So let's avoid the yeah. We're not going to be shoulding on anybody.
Yeah, no shooting.
No
shooting allowed.
shoulding. We're preparing. I like preparing. Preparation meets perfection. So that's why we're going to do this. Okay, Barbara, I'm going to count again. Be cognizant of when I do this, your job is to wrap up.
Got it.
Okay?
Okay.
So let me start this once again. And I'm going to go 3, 2, 1.
I'm in the studio here with Dr. Susan Thomson today. I'm delighted. She's the author of Parenting the Rules, and she has some good information for us. Susan, I'm curious, when a child throws a tantrum regularly, what is that behavior really telling the parents?
When a child throws a tantrum, the parent is not being aware of the child being in distress. They are either tired or hungry or sick. They may be in a bad mood. Somebody may have said something mean to them, and the parent is ignoring it. And so, and if the child cannot get the parent's attention, they will escalate their behavior until they get it. And sometimes that ends up in a tantrum.
And so do you recommend they put them in timeout, or what do they do?
I don't at all recommend timeout. I do recommend timeout for the parent, because sometimes the parent needs the timeout. If they're upset and they're overly wrought for some reason, they can take a break. But for children, timeout is an isolation. It's a prison. They're alone. They have no problem solving skills. And they really, really need the parent in the time when they're throwing a tantrum. They need connection, not separation, not alienation.
Absolutely. Wow. In your book, you emphasize apologizing to children. Why is that so powerful?
Well, Barbara, I'd like you to consider what it would be like if your parents came to you and said, hey, we made some mistakes with you when we were parenting, and we want to apologize. I think we hurt your feelings when you were a teenager. I remember when you broke up with that boyfriend and you were in a lot of pain, and I just think I ignored it. And I want to apologize for that because I love you and I want you to know how much I love you.
Oh my God, that feels good right there. So what's the emotional cost to a child when love is conditional and affection and privileges get withdrawn, and maybe it's because they did something?
Well, conditional love is the wrong term, although I do use it in my book, Parenting the Rules. Conditional love, everyone understands that term. But really what it is conditional manipulation. Love is unconditional. That means no matter what the child does, you never remove love. You may say how you feel. You may be upset with them. You may be angry, you may be hurt, you may be sad, you may even be afraid. And you're allowed to tell the child that. But you cannot withdraw your love from them, because now they're alone. They're abandoned. They feel shame. Anytime a child's abandoned, shame comes in. And that shame will control that child's life. It binds all the feelings together, and now everything's based on shame. And if you do it consistently, you have a very low self-esteem individual with a lot of shame and a lot of pain.
Oh, yeah, that's not good at all. What is emotional safety? Because that's what we're talking about here, is emotional safety for the child.
Correct.
So from
That's
a
right.
child's perspective, what does that feel like?
Well, from what a child really wants is from their parents is that they feel connected, they feel safe. They can say anything they want to them. They can say, my best friend just dumped me and it doesn't like me at all anymore. I'm devastated. And that parent has compassion. So they want to share their own experiences and connect with the parent. But even more important than that is the child has feeling toward the parent, and that I'm sad because you did this, I'm hurt because you did that. And particularly what's really difficult for parents, that they're angry and you need to listen and you need to not back away.
These are so important tools that are available in your book. Can't wait to read it.
Yeah, I
Time.
think you ought to. I think you'd like it.
Much better. Susan, massive improvement. Barbara,
Okay.
good. You almost got wound up. It's a little bit tight. Your job is not as a host. I mean, this takes practice, obviously.
Yeah.
But you transitioned nicely. Susan, you smiled. You used your hands a few times. I think you're 1/16th Sicilian, and it showed. It came through from the Kenichi family. So that, yeah, you did a great job. Big. How do you feel?
I feel each time we do this, it's helping me.
Right.
But I'm starting to understand what I need to do.
Exactly.
And
it's
I guess
by
I didn't
doing.
really completely understand it. So this is definitely helping.
Oh, massively. All right. Good. We're still
Yeah,
on
you're doing
record.
so good.
Susan,
Yeah.
this is how you're going to learn even better as well, because you're going to be in the
Okay.
role. You are now the
Oh
host.
my God.
I do know
interviewing
that.
Barbara Wainwright. Okay. And I'm
Oh
going
my
to hit the clock, and we're going to do this.
Okay, before we hit the clock, I need to know which question I'm supposed to ask. It's a long introduction.
Don't do the introduction.
Kick the introduction.
Yeah.
Too long. That was also feedback for you, Barbara. They'll never have time to read that.
That's what I figured as much. It was huge.
Give that a toss. So, Susan, now you saw how this went. Barbara did a really good job as a host.
Yeah, she did.
She did a really good job.
Thank you.
Now it's your turn to do a really good job as a host.
All right. I hope I can do
You don't
this.
have time for introduction. You're going to use what comes to you intrinsically, how you're going, her. I haven't done this before where I had two people. You both know each other. That's why I'm doing this. You're comfortable and it'll help you. And I'm just the coach role today. So now you know her. Introduce her in 5 to 10 seconds as you know her, and then go right into the question. Welcome her to the show, and boom, right in. Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm going to count. If you're ready, let me know. 3, 2.
Hello, Barbara. I'd like to welcome you to the show. I know you, and you are a professional life coach, and quite a good one, I've heard from many people that I know.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here, Susan.
Okay. Well, if I have some questions for you, and the first one is, if someone watching this show feels stuck, and you're gonna be the coach, right? Professionally, spiritually, or emotionally, what would you say directly to them?
I'd say get a coach on board so that you can take steps forward. Hire a coach. No, if someone is stuck, it's typically because they haven't really checked in with their heart center and who they are and what they are called to do. They might have been told to go out, get a corporate job, be a lawyer, a doctor, whatever. So they got years of school, but they haven't really sat down and said, but what do I really want? What's my calling? What's important to me? What should I be doing? And those are the kinds of questions that a coach would be asking them to help get them aligned with who they are spiritually.
Okay. Well, I can tell that this is a very powerful thing for you, that you feel like you change people's lives with this.
Yes, absolutely.
When you think about the future of coaching, however, and your role in shaping it, what impact do you hope to leave?
Well, I'm thinking about the future. I really hope that more and more people do get attuned to what it is that they are called to do. I know that sometimes it takes a long time to find your purpose and find your passion. I mean, it could take years. However, until you do that, until you land on it, there'll be something missing in your life. So the future that I hope that we get to experience here is a time where people know their purpose, know their value, and they're stepping into who they're called to be, so that we all have a really, I don't know, I'm looking for world peace, to be honest.
Okay. You speak often about divine purpose. Was there a moment in your life when you realized you were walking in yours?
Oh, it's a great question. Yes, absolutely. I was searching for about 10 years. What was it that I was supposed to be doing? Because I had so many different avenues that I went down. I started in software, so I was definitely a computer geek. But from there, I was taking classes on angel therapy, channeling, pranic healing, crystal healing. I looked into neurolinguistic programming. And so I was just like, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And I tried each one of those. I did it, put my toe in the water on all of them. But when I landed on coaching, it just was a big wow. Oh my God. I think,
that was
is this
it.
it?
That was it.
Is this it? I'm waiting for a confirmation, and I got it. And I jumped in.
Very good. And then since you've been this coach for quite a long time, and you've decided to write a book called Awakening to Divine Purpose. Can you tell me what's the main theme of this book? How are you going to awaken?
Great question. And like I said, it takes a lot of inner work to find that purpose, but that's
Yes,
the
I can
goal.
understand. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
The goal
Okay,
is
well,
to
thank you.
find the inner purpose for moving forward so that you can live a life that's fulfilling and enriching.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. It's nice to have you, and I'm looking forward to reading your book. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great job. Seriously.
We are good, aren't we?
No, well, there's something to you two knowing each other and having this your familiarity. And Susan, you wrapped up nicely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you wrapped up nicely. Barbara, great. I have no feedback, no comment to improve. You animated well, your voice was clear, you articulated, you're clearly passionate about it. Susan, good roping in. You did something very nice. After the first question, you commented and you went sideways a little bit. You'll see that in the recording. Beautiful instinct. Beautiful instinct. You didn't sound like a robot just reading questions. You gave some latitude. That's the mark of a good host. You've got a future.
Well, maybe I should just be a host and not a guest.
Well, I want to get you into podcasting later. I think that'd be a smart move for you because you've got a very nice, clear voice. Good.
Yes.
You've got a super nice presence. You both do. And I've got no axe to grind or anything. I've already caught your money. So I'm saying this to speaking the truth. My nose isn't growing.
You're so bad.
But I get an A for effort and humor.
You do. You get an A, Mitch.
Good job. All right. We're doing it again. We're doing it again. There's always room for improvement. And Susan, you're learning about this also being a host. You're going to be a better guest by switching the role. Okay. So Barbara, I knew had some background in TV, at least the interviewing process. So that's why I put her on the fire first. You did it. Didn't she do a good job though, Barbara?
Yes. It was really good.
Really did. Yeah, and you're going to do better this time. We are not done. Are you? All right. Same question. Are you ready? Well, why not? Let's get.
Or no,
he has one interview.
Different question.
You can ask different. Go ahead.
Different questions.
Look at Barbara. She's like an excited child. Okay, feed her some Gerbers. Okay,
I'm gonna put you in timeout.
Wait a minute. Dr. Susan Thomson says that's against the rules.
Okay.
All right. So, ladies, go ahead. You
want me to ask different questions or the same ones, Mitch?
Ask different ones.
Different.
Yeah, put her on the spot here. Make her squirm. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
3, 2.
Barbara, welcome to the show. So glad to see you. You look lovely today, as always, because I know you from before. So excited to have you here.
Thank you, Susan. I'm so delighted.
I have some important questions for you. And the first one is, you've built an institute, a methodology, and now a published body of work. But what has this journey required of you personally?
Wow, great question. And when I first started, I spent a lot of 18-hour days working on the company because I was developing a methodology and a company and working on growing the business and marketing and advertising. And it was a lot of work. And so personally, when I would speak to anybody or meet anybody, I'd say, hey, I'm married to my work, because I was
Yes.
literally married to my work. So personally,
Okay.
it was a lot in the beginning, but now that the work is done, the methodology is established, it's proven to work. There's been over 6,000 coaches trained in the methodology. People are changing lives for the better. It's been really good lately.
Okay. Good for you. Some critics say coaching is simply packaged encouragement. Why do they fundamentally misunderstand about what you teach?
I think that's a great. Here's the thing, okay? It's really about training, and it's about a coaching system. So if you're coming from a place where you want to encourage and motivate people and tell them they're doing a great job, that's one thing. But if you really want somebody to have a breakthrough, to get across that bridge where they're like, I really want to do this, if I could just, and you want to help them get to the other side of that, then you need a method. You need a system that's
Right.
been proven to work. You need to work with the client's subconscious mind first, right? Because the subconscious mind is what holds people back, because the messages are, oh my God, you can't do this. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You can't move fast enough. You're not gonna be able to do this, right? If we reprogram that to be, you've got this, you're going to be able to do this. In fact, you can see yourself being successful right now. Then when the client gets ready to take those steps, it's like magic. It happens right away.
Okay, so this is not just about attaboys. This is something much more profound and deep. Good
Yes,
for
it
you.
is.
I'm so happy to have you on the show. You did an excellent job. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
You have 12 seconds to spare. Barbara,
Oh.
excellent. No comment. Susan, this isn't host training. This is host commenting. You did a really good. You could, because I said you had 30 seconds. And you,
Okay.
because I absolutely 100%, I say this with a stern face and no humor. Humor comes in about 15 seconds. But right now, I'm going to be stern and direct. You need to be a podcast host. You need this. That is your next step.
Yeah.
Susan, do you agree? I think she'd really be good.
I agree 100%. I agree.
Susan, I've trained a lot of people. Been doing this for years.
It feels more natural to me than being the guest.
I see that. You're going to do exceptionally well because you're trained. Your buddy's going to be with you. Your husband's with you. You're supported. Well, I'm just saying that you're going to be great. I 100%, and there's no humor. I'm leaving that aside. That comes later. I'm in serious mode. You have to be a podcast host. I think you've got a real knack for it, a natural knack. And you've got a clear voice. You've got the prestige. You've got the presence. And you've got the passion. You would be doing mankind a disservice to not do this later.
Oh, God, that's what Barbara said to me about my book.
Okay, and then she and I don't have a bet. Okay, we didn't talk about this.
No.
I'm talking about it now on record. You absolutely need to be a podcast host. We'll work on that after you do all. I mean, my deliverables have to continue. I think I've got 8 more that I owe you, and you're going to get much better as a guest. So then you'll know how to be a good host. I'm just sharing this. We're going to do one more time because I want to make sure Barbara gets the three
times.
Yeah, 3
Someone
times
asked
works.
for different questions.
Yeah, of course.
Yay.
But I'm just sharing, Susan, you've got a real knack for this. Okay?
Yes, you do. And your voice sounds so good too.
You're really good. Really good.
Yeah,
professional, solid, confident.
Right. So good. So good.
And you smile.
You're listening and listening and responding. I mean, it's really, really good, Susan.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to let you pick the next set, and then Barbara's going to go for round 3.
Okay.
And you're practicing on your soon-to-be host responsibility.
Okay.
Am I embedding?
No pressure. No pressure.
No pressure. No pressure. You're fine. Okay. If you're ready, Susan, let me know.
Yes.
3, 2.
Welcome, Barbara Wainwright, a professional life coach, to my show. I'm so happy to have you, Barbara. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here, Susan.
Okay. I'm excited to talk about life coaching and what you do in that field. It has become a multi-billion-dollar industry. but not all coaching is created equal. From your perspective, what separates professional coaching from motivational advice?
That's a great question. And truly, it comes down to training and having a coaching system that's been proven to work. That's really the key. People that are giving motivational advice are more like cheerleaders, and coaching is part cheerleading too. However, you need to have a little more skills on board. So Socratic questioning, being able to ask great questions that challenges a client's perspective and where they're heading, what do they want to do? And then also working with the client's subconscious mind, because most people don't change because their subconscious mind isn't on board with where they want to go, what they want to do.
Right.
And when that happens, there's a struggle. It's hard to make change. It's hard to do anything. It's hard to move forward. They got the anxiety and the stress, and the self-sabotage kicks in. If you get the subconscious mind on board with where they want to go, then it's like magic. People start to take steps. They see themselves being successful, and they can walk into it easily.
Okay. Nothing like the subconscious mind to take control of your life, right? And to direct your life without you knowing it.
That's
if
right.
Someone watching this show feels stuck professionally, spiritually, emotionally, what would you say directly to them?
First of all, get a coach, because they'll get you out of that stuckness.
Okay.
And then secondly,
that makes sense.
Right. Secondly, you would want to have them do some contemplation. What excites you? What lights you up?
Mm-hmm.
What would you really get excited about doing? What could you stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning talking about? That's what they need to focus on and move forward into. And as a coach, you would help them figure out the steps that they need to take. And here's the thing about coaching. We don't tell our client what to do. We never do that. We just ask them questions. What would be your next best step? What would you like to do? What would light you up?
Right. Okay, great. Beautiful. You speak often about divine purpose, a lofty topic. Was there a moment in your own life when you realized you were walking in your divine purpose?
Yes. And that was when I got into coaching. And I had so many other things that I tested and tried out along the way, such as the crystal healing, pranic healing, angel therapy. I became a certified spiritual counselor. And then I landed in coaching. And I went, oh my gosh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I just jumped in full-heartedly and discovered that it was a lot of money to get trained as a coach. And I did spend a small fortune. And that's when I designed a system of coaching, because it shouldn't take that long. Coaching is about asking questions. How hard is it? You should be able to do that in a short amount of time and get it trained. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you for that. And I'm so glad to have you on the show. And I also want to let everyone know that you've written a book called Awakening to Divine Purpose, and it's being sold on Amazon. And please purchase that book. Here it out. And that's your other book, For the Power of Life Coaching. She has 2.
Yes, that's right.
She has more than one book. Okay, thank you.
Good ladies.
I didn't mean
Good
to
ladies.
screw it up.
Yeah, no, you didn't. You didn't screw it up. You injected the book. It was her job to inject the book, and you did. Okay.
But did you not want me to talk about that book too, Barbara? No.
Oh no. You know what? I think in the show I'm strictly doing coaching.
It's just coach, nothing about that. Okay, got it.
Yeah. I'm just going to do coaching because that's really what I want to promote.
Okay, that's what you're promoting,
Barbara.
Yeah,
I know.
What do you want to show one of your books?
If I do, it's going to be The Power of Life Coaching, Volume 4.
Then bring that. Okay, for you. Here's what I told Susan, and I'll repeat it just for power of repetition. Make sure you have a blue ink pen. And I
bought a whole pack of them.
Yeah, okay. And you have at least for you.
Oh, Frozen. That's a
Frozen.
That's a kid's show. Frozen.
Frozen.
You got frozen there for a second.
Thanks for tuning in to the Amazing Authorities Podcast. If today's episode inspired you, take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It helps more experts like you rise to the top. For behind-the-scenes access and free resources to boost your authority, head to MitchCarson.com. Until next time, stay amazing.